So Microsoft's E3 briefing, their presentation is all done. Totaled about an hour and a half, which is actually a little shorter than a lot of us were thinking. A lot of us thought it would be closer to 2 hours long, but an hour and a half later it was over, and they finished out with Halo, and after that a big sizzle reel and everything. But overall, the briefing was okay. I think as a live event, Microsoft has become much better at pulling off these live events and making them feel quick. Like they move fairly quickly. And if you remember, and think about what we used to have from live events from Microsoft. Remember when they showed us the Xbox One and the Kinect, and they were trying to play it on stage, and it was terrible. We saw the presentation where they talked about nothing but TV. Remember, like TV, 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 TV. And generally, they just seem to struggle their way through the live events. Their live events have improved greatly, I would say, over the last few years. So if I look at this from the perspective of a live event, it was a good E3 live event. If I look at it as an Xbox E3 event where they're supposed to be showing stuff for the Xbox, their brand and everything, it was, I would say, just okay. Now, what we've learned at this point continues, I would pretty much backed up by Microsoft, how they feel about the Xbox system. It's not something they want to push exclusives on. It's not to them like the PlayStation is to Sony, where PlayStation has to lock up exclusives. Nintendo has to lock up exclusives and produce exclusives for their platform, their Switch or the PlayStation 4 that can't be found anywhere else. Microsoft is putting their stuff on everything, and I think that lessens the impact of what they show at E3, because you kind of realize as you're seeing it, you can at least get it on your PC as well. Like, I think Xbox gamers who just pick an Xbox, they feel less special, I guess is the word. I guess the Xbox just doesn't feel like you necessarily need an Xbox. But they did at least show a lot of games. They debuted some that leaked before, and if they hadn't leaked, it probably wouldn't have been as ho-hum, right, that we're seeing it. But they did debut some games, some surprising ones. There's one in here that you're going to see that shocked me completely. I have no idea this happens. I hope there is a bit of a backstory to it that is revealed to us in an interview or something, because it is fascinating to see this. So this is actually a full write-up that they did. It's a full press release they seem to have ready to go as it went up. And it does a good job pretty much pointing out all the bigger things that take place. That way we don't miss anything major. But this is actually from their news.xbox.com. I'll put this link below if you want to read a little more about any of this stuff. And then I can kind of give you my thoughts as we go through on the live presentation and what I thought of everything. Now, they start off in this with Game Pass. Game Pass is going to PC. We already knew that. They told us about that beforehand. But it actually is launching an open beta today or tonight. I have a feeling their Xbox app that's on PC, I believe, where you access it through, probably got hit really, really hard. Like, I have to imagine it's struggling right now. But they put some interesting announcements on there, like Metro Exodus is a pretty big one to have. I mean, if you really think about it, Metro Exodus going to Game Pass is good. Remember, I believe that's one of the games that was exclusive to Epic Games. So remember that big thing where it got ripped away from Steam after people pre-ordered on it and everything. To see it go to Game Pass on PC, and that's a pretty big deal, right? I think that's good. Football Manager 2019. I'm not a big Football Manager person, but I know it's still popular on Steam and everything. So it's, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But they're going to have 100 high-quality PC games, 75 developers and publishers. I noticed in the trailer it said by August. So I don't know if they're all there yet, or they'll kind of start to show up over the next few months. Because remember, it's open beta right now. So I assume August is when it's going to have a full launch. So there's that. Good to see that, though. I'm happy that is there. And then, of course, they're also going to have all of the games. They showed Bleeding Edge today, something we already heard about, that it looks almost like an Overwatch-style game from Ninja Theory, The Outer Worlds, Ori the Will of the Wisps, Battletoads, Gears 5, and all this stuff is also going to be on Game Pass there. So good stuff there. If you're a PC gamer, you've been waiting for it. We got the announcement, and it also is rolled into Xbox Live Ultimate, where that's supposed to be $14.99 a month for Xbox Live Gold, Game Pass on Xbox, and Game Pass on PC. And it's interesting, there's apparently a deal going on right now that I checked out, and I was going to do it because it's $1, but apparently you get that $1 per month for like the next year or something crazy. Like, so it's like $1 every month or something. And I have to check that out a little more, but it is going all over the place right now. And if that is the case, yeah, I'm in for that for a year. Absolutely. And then they did pick up another studio, something else I figured they would do. And that was from Double Fine. Double Fine, of course, is behind Psychonauts 2, which has kind of been put through the ringer right now because we weren't sure what was going to happen with Starbreeze having some severe financial problems. I believe they were even raided at one point. There's crazy stuff going on there. But it looks like Microsoft, I guess, with Xbox Game Studios, swooped in, picked them up. Psychonauts 2 got a trailer. That is still going to the PlayStation 4, though. Also still going to Mac and Linux and stuff. So I know that was an obligation they had, and I guess Double Fine will be with them for the future, like a Psychonauts 3, for example. But they did pick them up, so hey, good there. Another studio for them to pick up. They did talk about Scarlett. Project Scarlett is how they have it titled now, Project Scarlett. And they did what I think a lot of us figured. They talked about it. Remember how we had that trailer for Project Scorpio, or same project? They did the same thing where they talked about how it was incredible. I mean, honestly, I was watching this and I was like, this feels like the exact same script, just with some different, descriptions in there from Scorpio. If you go back and watch the Scorpio trailer and then watch the Project Scarlet explanation trailer, it feels very, very much the same. People sitting there talking into the camera about how it's going to change the world and everything. But they did confirm a few things. As you see, Zen 2, we figured that, the Radeon RDNA architecture for Navi and everything, I'm sure. Then GDDR6, they do talk about ray tracing, SSD, all the stuff that we already figured because it's pretty much what we expect out of the PS5. They did name hardware accelerated ray tracing, which is interesting. And then they also named 8K and 100 to 120 frames per second. So interesting stuff there. I need to see all this actually work. But hey, I assume next E3 is when we will probably see it in action. Right, and that's kind of my thought there. I think this was just them talking about it, and then we'll see more about it next. We'll also get a price. We'll see a box. We'll see all of this stuff, I think, next E3. This was just kind of the get us warmed up to the idea of the next generation, right? This is pretty much the idea there. They talk about the cloud, and this is an interesting one because they seem to make a big deal out of something that I have to give Sony credit for. Sony's already done this. I noticed this when I was watching. I was like, wait a minute, I've done this on my PlayStation 4 before. They say bring Xbox to the cloud, and they talk about how you will basically be able to remote play with your Xbox One. So if your Xbox One is at home, I assume if you're on the road, or if you're at home and you're upstairs or something, I've done this with my PlayStation 4. You can have your Xbox stream through your network to your computer, or I assume in this case with Microsoft to your cell phone. Now, I've done this with my PlayStation 4. You can do it now, actually. You sync up your computer to your PlayStation 4. You plug in your DualShock controller to your PC, and it'll actually stream the PS4 through your network to your PC. I actually used that a bit for Persona a while ago, Persona 5, and it actually worked fairly well over my local area network. I don't know how well it would work over like the internet. I've done remote play with the Vita before, and it was okay, but through my local area network, it was fine. I had no issues with it, to be honest. It was good. So I assume this will work just the same. What they would do well, I think, selling a little box, a little stream box, like think of Steam Link, something like that for people to buy. So if you buy an Xbox One X and you have it in your living room, you can then buy like a little Xbox branded little streaming box that you put in your bedroom, and then you can stream to it. So you don't have to buy two Xboxes, you just buy that. I know Microsoft probably wants to buy two Xboxes, but just an idea. Maybe they'll allow other devices to do that straight up, right? Apparently, if you can access a web browser, you can do it, I guess. But we'll see. That's just an idea, something to throw out there with that little branded box that you can use. Then they did talk a bit about xCloud. I don't know if maybe they just didn't talk enough about xCloud. By the way, the remote play starts in October for preview. So a little later on. Not as much about xCloud. I thought they were just going to go crazy with xCloud, right? I thought they were just going to just run over state. Nothing. It was weird. I mean, they talked somewhat, but I thought we were going to get pricing, release date, library of games, all this stuff, and it was kind of quiet. They kind of glossed over it. they talked about xCloud and they said, hey, we're going to do Project xCloud. And then that was kind of it. They talked about how people, I guess, there at the E3 conference would be able to try it out on tablets and smartphones. That's kind of it. So they're still testing it. I guess just later on the end of this year, we're going to find more out about it. I don't know. Okay. The world's most advanced controller. That's the the Series 2. This is the Elite controller. I like the Elite controller. I have it here. I use this thing whenever I play the Xbox. I like it. There are a lot of problems with it. And I'm starting to look at this and I'm like, I probably should wait until this one got revealed because it looks like they're fixing a lot of it. It is more expensive though. It's $180. And I did have the question about, is this going to work with Project Scarlett? I think that's a fair question because it comes out in November, which is like probably a year before Project Scarlett comes out. And if it doesn't work with that, that's going to feel, it's going to feel like kind of a kick there from Microsoft because I would want that $180 controller to last, years. Because I would take care of it. It wouldn't be this controller that gets like thrown on the ground or anything. But they are having rechargeable battery in there. It seemed like it had USB Type-C. The hair triggers have different settings so you can fire even faster. The tension thumbsticks were very, very cool. My Razer Anza had that, and I like that feature a lot. So I'm glad to see that being built in as well. And then that rechargeable battery, by the way, will have 40 hours of gameplay. So it's right there with the Switch Pro controller and well above by about 4 times what the PlayStation 4 controller does. So that actually sounds like a nice controller, but it comes at a cost at $180. So keep that in mind. It's kind of pricey. Seems a lot better than the one that I got for $150 though. So there you go. Now they moved on to games. There were a lot of games here, but I talked about how they view the Xbox now, and it is not an exclusive box to them. It is not. What's interesting is the only one that I've actually seen on here that I think is exclusive to the Xbox, because they write it right here as Battletoads. I don't understand why Battletoads isn't on PC. It's kind of interesting. Like, they have it written there as Xbox One. We did see Battletoads, by the way, and they showed Battletoads, and I said, you know what? I'm okay with that style. It is cel-shaded look, right? It's like animated look and everything. But they have apparently couch co-op up. I think there's 3 people, and it looked like old school Battletoads. Here is an image of it, and you know what? I looked at that and I said, okay, I am okay with that, because if they went realistic, I think it would just be weird, And I don't think this is going to be an expensive title. I don't even think it's looked at as like this massive, big budget title or anything. I think this is just a smaller one, and I don't think Battletoads needs to be a AAA budget game, AAA budget. I don't think it needs all of that. Battletoads fans just want to play Battletoads straight up, right? It even had the sections where you're driving down the, you got the hover bikes and everything, you're going back and forth. That looked like Battletoads to me. I need to see a bit more. I need to play it, but I at least liked what I saw here with the art style and everything. Perfectly fine with it. It'll be fun to play Battletoads again, right? That'll be a good time. Age of Empires, that should be Age of Empires 2. I don't know why Age of Empires. It's Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I don't know if that's a typo. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Pretty cool to see that there. That's on Xbox One and Windows. That's just Windows 10 PC. That's so weird. I don't know why, because the Xbox has mouse and keyboard support. Interesting. Blair Witch, that is Xbox Game Pass. We don't really know a lot about what's going on there, but that's August 30th, 2019. Bleeding Edge, talked a bit about that. We're going to have a chance to play it actually in a few weeks here. It's from Ninja Theory, so we'll check that out. That's that Overwatch game from Ninja Theory that I was talking about before. Borderlands 3, know all about this. They showed that again. Again, another multi-platform game. They also talked about that DLC that is free, so if you have the Handsome Collection, you can play a DLC that you can just download, and you can have the gap bridge between 2 and 3 with that, which is cool. Crossfire X, I'm not really sure about this one. It's a free-to-play first-person shooter, and I've never played it, okay? It's one of the most played PC games you see there with 650 million players life to date, okay? I have not played Crossfire X. So you guys are going to have to let me know about that one in the comments if you have. I have not played that one. But it says it's first to console on Xbox One, so that means it's probably going to other platforms, most likely PlayStation 4. And it says Game Pass, but it's free to play, so all right, I guess. Okay. Cyberpunk 2077 got a release date, April release date. Exciting stuff. They brought out Keanu Reeves. He's in the game, apparently. That was cool. That was a cool little surprise. The game still looks phenomenal. Again, I need to play it, but from what they are showing us, it looks like it's going to be a very large game. And I think people are surprised that it's not holiday 2020. Instead, it's April 2020. I think the biggest reason people are surprised online is because that does confirm that it is a current generation game, right? People were really thinking that it might be a next-gen game. Now, current gen, of course, next-gen consoles backwards compatible. Very happy about Cyberpunk 2077. Cannot wait to get that and play it. Dragonball Z, this is the action RPG that we saw. We saw this shown, I believe, earlier in the year. And they showed the gameplay. It reminded me of Tenkaichi, and I don't know how I feel about that because I was hoping they would do something a bit different. I still don't think we know enough about it, but they do talk about how there's going to be like full RPG elements to it, where you fight, fish, eat, train with Goku. It is retelling seemingly up to the Frieza saga, because at the end we saw Goku becoming a Super Saiyan. So I'm going to play it. I like Dragon Ball Z a lot, so I'll play it, but it was just like the third person view from Tenkaichi, and I am not sure about that. We'll see about that one. I think they should have just gone full-blown RPG, done something like Attack of the Saiyans, by the way. People are asking me how would they do a Dragon Ball RPG or Dragon Ball Z RPG. Go play Attack of the Saiyans. It's on the DS. It's a great game. I like the game a lot. I believe this is called Attack of the Saiyans. I played it a while ago, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So if you want to know how they would do it, check that out, or check Legend of the Super Saiyan out on the Super Nintendo. Not as good, but still gives you kind of an idea of what they could do. Dying Light 2, good stuff there. Expected to see it at E3 at some point. Makes sense to put it on a Microsoft stage. That's also a PlayStation 4 game from Techland, but it's published by Square Enix, so we could see even more at Square Enix's show. I liked the first one. I thought it was underrated by reviewers, but the second one looks like more Dying Light, so I'm excited for that one as well. Elden Ring, I told you guys about this, from George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki from Software and Everything, published by Bandai Namco. Dark Souls style game, open world and everything. It's going to be cool, but we need to see a bit more about that as well. But good to see it's real. There you go. We got it. This was a fun surprise for me. Forza Horizon 4 LEGO Speed Champions expansion. The thing I like about Forza Horizon, and I talked about this, I like Forza Horizon because it doesn't take itself too seriously. It just tries to have fun. Forza Horizon 3, we had the Hot Wheels expansion. Forza Horizon 4, we had Legos driving in, right? They're singing the awesome song and everything. Everything's awesome. They're just driving around and stuff. It looked fun, okay? It looked like it could be a fun pick up and play experience. Just play around with it for a bit before I move on. But it looked like it could be neat, and it's out June 13th. So it's not even like a few days away. Yes, I'm gonna go back to Forza Horizon 4 and play that. Like I said, it just looked like a fun time. And they did wheel out a car, but they tricked us. It was a car made out of Legos. So not just like a full car. So yeah, there you go. They got us. Gears 5 looks good. No gameplay, though. I am confused on that one heavily. They showed a cinematic trailer, it appeared. And then they seemed to line up some people, wrestlers, to play it. And then they didn't. They just shifted away. I don't know. They could have spent 5-10 minutes showing us actual gameplay of it, and that would have been great. But they chose not to, and they moved on. They're going to do this thing where they're going to give an Ultimate Edition and let people play it early from the September 10th release. Instead, you can play it September 6th. That will also be available in the Xbox Live Ultimate package, the $15 a month one. That's now currently, I believe, $1 a month. It'll be included in that as well. Okay, it's still weird to me that these companies do this because clearly the game's ready September 6th, but I know they want to push their service, but it's something we've been seeing a lot recently with games, where they release it early. It's release date, but Gears Pop, no clue why that was there. iOS, Android, I guess because it's Gears, and they have a collaboration with Pop. Did not need to be there at all, so I'm not sure what that was about. Where's Gears Tactics? Wasn't there supposed to be Gears Tactics? Is that what Gears Pop is instead on iOS and Android? Oh, man. Wow. Okay. All right. We did have... I'm going to come back to Halo. We did have Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Seems like they're putting all the Star Wars games together for Legos. Good for people who enjoy the Lego Star Wars games. Microsoft Flight Simulator. Interesting to see this there. I think a lot of us figured it was gone, but it's back. And there are people who do like these games, and I think it will find an audience, mostly on PC, but it will also be on Xbox One. I remember playing that way back. Oh man, XP, Windows XP maybe? It's been a while. Minecraft Dungeons was interesting. It's coming spring 2020. It's from the creators of Minecraft. Obviously, I assume it's Mojang. It's coming to everything. Xbox One, PC, Switch, PlayStation 4. Interesting PlayStation 4 is there, by the way. But they are doing it on everything. It's dungeon crawler style Minecraft game. And it looked like Diablo mixed with Minecraft. I think Minecraft fans will get really excited about that. But I do know people like Minecraft for the building aspect. I didn't see a lot of that there. So I feel like it might get kind of forgotten about in the long run, but I think it'll be a fun little game that just to check out, but nothing mind-blowing. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, you got to check that out. It fell to February. I'm not really sure why. It's a 2020 game. I think there's enough room this holiday for it, but Microsoft wanted to, I guess, release it February 11th. 2020, so I'll be there for that when that comes out. Of course, Game Pass will be there as well. That's Xbox One, Windows 10, and Steam. They are bringing it to Steam. Interesting stuff there that they're doing that. This is, I was going to look down a little further to see if there's anything else, because honestly, other than Tales of Arise, Outer Worlds, there wasn't as much else I really wanted to go over. We already talked about Tales of Arise, and the Outer Worlds is we've covered that a few times as well. Somehow, I have no idea how this happened. Microsoft, I'll say it again, Microsoft ended up being the company that brings Phantasy Star Online 2 over. I have no idea how that happened. It blows my mind, because this was a game that was supposed to come over to North America in 2012. I believe they had a full website. It kind of disappeared. I think it's still back. Somehow it was Microsoft. All those trips to Japan, to Sega, when we saw those pictures, maybe it had to do with this. This is insane to me. It's coming to Xbox One. Like, I don't know how this happened. And it doesn't mention PC, but I have a feeling it's also on PC, by the way. But Xbox One is going to have Phantasy Star Online 2. Now, it's not surprising to see an MMORPG, right, come to a console like that. We've seen, Black Desert Online. We've seen DCUO and everything. Final Fantasy 14's on the PlayStation 4 and everything. So it's not weird to see that. It's weird to see Phantasy Star Online 2 be picked up by Microsoft and not a Nintendo or Sony, and have all the localization work and everything done. It's amazing. I am very excited to play it. It's free to play, of course. It'll be over here 2020, apparently. Early 2020, I believe. It's exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. That one blew me away. That was a shock. I couldn't believe it was Phantasy Star Online 2 until I saw the logo. That's how surprised I was, because we're in Microsoft's event and we're seeing a game that shouldn't be there actually being there. I don't get it, but I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to play it when it comes out. Okay. But that's Xbox One. I assume PC. Okay. I don't see any reason to put it on Game Pass. I will say, because it's free, I will say, I think that's a game that would actually work okay through xCloud if they decide to do that. And that would help to reach even more people for Phantasy Star Online 2. Keep in mind, Phantasy Star Online 2 is on the Switch in Japan, but it's streamed. So you never know, I mean, if xCloud and all this stuff, how they're working with Sony now, maybe they work with Nintendo. Hey, maybe Phantasy Star Online 2 finds its way to everything out here, and maybe it finds its way to phones and the Switch through streaming. You never know, but it is exciting stuff there. I'm very happy to see that finally show up. And finally, we closed with Halo. Halo made me a bit sad. And I'll tell you why. It looks good. Halo Infinite, I think, is going to be awesome. There was a bit of a confusing message here. This is a cross-generation game, first of all. Project Scarlett, Xbox One, Windows 10, okay? So it's on all of them. But they didn't show any gameplay, and I thought they were going to. They were so close to showing it, because it was, of course, cinematic, and then it kind of comes around. You see Chief there, and then you go into his viewpoint. I thought at that point the guy was going to go off. I thought I was going to get the thing, and, you got to recalibrate and all this stuff. I was like, okay, we're going to do the typical where we move the reticule around. Okay, look left, right. And then we start walking. We go down onto the planet. We start just lighting up, Covenant and all kinds of stuff. And it didn't happen. It was kind of sad to see that. A bit disappointing. I was really hoping Halo Infinite gameplay would be shown in during the conference. I believe there will be gameplay recorded by people who go. So either way, we're going to see Halo Infinite gameplay. I just thought this would have been a great place to showcase it, but it's a next-gen game. It's launching alongside Project Scarlett, and it'll also be on the regular Xbox One and Windows 10. So yes, this is a game. I will get Scarlett. I will get Halo Infinite. I'll have my Elite controller at the time that is hopefully forward compatible, like Major Nelson says, and then I'll be playing Halo. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to Halo. It looked like it was kind of a soft reboot how they were talking about it, and it looked like Master Chief had his work cut out for him. So I was excited. Now, there was no, and this was a funny thing because it trended on Twitter as well. There was no Miyamoto on stage presence, and a lot of people were trying to figure out how it started. And originally, it seemed like there was just a belief and rumor, of course, going around. But then, this is I don't even know what to think of this. So, right here we have juxvideo.com. They had this tweet that went out, and people started putting it everywhere. And they were like, we saw Miyamoto here at the center, like the convention center and everything. It's like, he's here. We just saw Miyamoto. Interesting, he shows up during the Xbox conference. And of course, people were like, this is amazing. You know, Miyamoto's going to be there. And even I was like, really? Okay, all right. Like, you saw him? I feel like they would have snuck him in. All right. So I was like, I guess we have to watch the Xbox presentation then. You never know. And they have, I think, over 1 million followers and everything. And then later on, they tweeted out, I guess they saw Keanu Reeves and thought it was Miyamoto. Oh, sure. Okay. I don't know how that happens, but okay. So yes, no, there was no Miyamoto sighting there, but I think the show for a live presentation was good. I think for an Xbox presentation, it was average to below average because it feels like more and more you don't need an Xbox One. Project Scarlett, that might be another story. But they just don't sell us on an Xbox every time they do these events. And I don't think they care to. They just want you to buy the game on their platform, whether it's PC, through their Windows Store, or you buy Game Pass. That's what they really want, is you to buy Game Pass. If you've bought Game Pass and you're playing these games on there, they're fine. They don't care. But I think it was pretty good for a live presentation. Otherwise, though, I think we might have a better presentation coming up this week. So let me know what you guys think about this Microsoft presentation. This video went long because they just showed so many games. There were so many games there, and I wasn't to go through all of them. They talked about Scarlett. They talked about xCloud to a degree. They talked about remote play. It was just a lot of stuff. But let me know what you guys think about this down below. Interesting stuff there for Microsoft and the Xbox One, but I think they could have done better, and I think people will be disappointed with this presentation. Next year, though, with Project Scarlett and the PlayStation 5 going up against each other, it might be a bit more fun. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more E3 coverage going forward, and I'll see you guys next time.